Greetings, fourth grade Kip Stars. This is your Monday content lesson in reading. We are beginning a new unit. We are going to be focusing on poetry this time. And poetry is just absolutely fantastic. Okay? So poetry gives you an opportunity to use your words however you like without there being any repercussions or anything like that. It can be whatever you want it to be. But our emphasis is going to be able to say, I can independently explain the major differences, okay, between poetry, prose, and drama, okay? So thinking about this, first of all, how do we know when something written is either poetry or prose or drama? What makes us know that? Okay? Can we just look at text and determine whether it's poetry, whether it's prose, whether it's drama? Okay? Yeah, you can. Okay? So once you know the structural elements of these things, yep, you can look at it and say, yes, that's poetry. Yes, that's prose. Yes, that's drama. Okay? So beginning, we're going to look at poetry. That's going to be the first thing that we're going to look at. There are some key things in poetry that I want you to be aware of. So, actually, there are a lot of key things in poetry. But the thing that I want you to focus on is that poetry has lines, okay? It has stanzas, and it has rhyme scheme, okay? So again, lines, stanzas, rhyme scheme. That is the work that's what we're going to be labeling today. So in your packet, you receive a plain sheet like this. So this is a poem before it's been annotated or anything like that. So one of them is Little Things, and the other one is Dreams. Let me show you what it's going to look like once we finish annotating it. So once we annotate it, so annotation means that we're going to look at the lines and stanzas, the words that the poems use, and we're going to be looking at the rhyme scheme. Okay? Right now, I don't want you to emphasize figurative language because we haven't gotten into that yet, so don't be that concerned about it. Okay? So let's just start with identifying what the lines are in a poem. So when we look at this, little drops of water. Each one of these is considered a line. Okay? So when we tell you to number the lines, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll see a space. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So those are your lines. When we ask you to identify the stanza or the verse, it's this complete paragraph. You'll put that in brackets. So looking at this is considered a bracket. Okay? It looks like a paragraph, so you just section it off. And to distinguish when you come to a different verse or stanza, you're going to have a space in between it. So this is my second stanza right here. This is one stanza, this is two. If I had a space and there were more words written, that would be a stanza as well. Okay? So we've identified two things here. We've identified lines, and to number them, we've identified that this group of lines is called a verse or a stanza. Okay? The next thing that I want you to look at is to determine the rhyme scheme, you look at the last word in each line. So the person who made this actually circled the last word in each line. And when you do that, you look for words that rhyme. That's why it's called rhyme scheme. So if you say the words, so let's just say these words: water, sand, ocean, land. My first word, regardless of what it is always going to start with the letter A. So my first word is water. I look through the rest of the last of these words circled. I don't see any word that rhymes with water. Okay? So my next word is sand. That is going to get the letter B. Let me continue to look. So ocean doesn't rhyme with sand, but land rhymes with sand. So my next word that I can circle that's going to be the letter B is going to be land. So right now I have A, B, and then I definitely have another B here. My next word is ocean. None of these words rhyme with ocean. That means that is going to be a C. So my rhyme scheme for this particular poem is A, B, C, B. Okay? I don't see any more A's. I see another word that rhymes with sand, so sand and land both get the letter B. There's no word that rhymes with ocean, so it gets the letter C. Okay? So we've done 3 things with this. Identified lines, identified that each one of these paragraphs here is considered a verse or stanza. Okay? And then we've determined the rhyme scheme by circling the last word in each line and seeing if they rhyme. We have attached the letter A, B, C. We could even go as far as D. Okay? So, those are the things that you're going to need to be aware of when you're doing your work on poetry. Okay? Your independent work, so that was Monday. Your independent work is going to be my shadow. So if you look at this, you'll see, and we can look at it, automatically this tells us, they have stanzas or verses. I can see one here, 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 here. Okay? If I wanted to, I could number them 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. I could also look at the end words, and once I read this, I can circle the word me, see, head, bed, and label them with the letters A, B, C, whatever works. So if you have AA, that means that both of those words rhyme. If you have BB, that means that both of those words rhyme. Okay? But with this one, they actually tell you something to do. It tells you draw brackets around each stanza. They tell you to highlight the third line in the second stanza. So this is going to be an example of you not only knowing how to identify the stanzas, but the lines as well, and then following the directions also. And then it also states, circle all A rhyming words in blue. And if you don't have blue, that is fine so long as you circle them. And then the next one is, circle all B rhyming words in red. If you don't have anything red, put a box around those words that have the letter B at the end. Okay, actually it has the B attached to it as its rhyming word. Then it states, on the back of this page, write a 4-sentence summary of the poem's meaning. So poems have different meanings to different people. So your task is to attempt to just helping you summarize this. Remember, summarize is short, and they tell you here. On the back of this page, write a 4-sentence summary of the poem's meaning. Okay? That's Monday. On Tuesday, we're going to be looking at prose. Let me read prose to you. You're going to, this packet, these anchor charts are in your information anyway. So prose is stories that are written in paragraphs. The purpose is to persuade, inform, or entertain. Is written in complete sentences, follows grammatical rules, has a series of events, dialogue and quotation marks, and the action is shown in description. Now, you can normally find examples of prose in novels, picture books, articles, passages, biographies, short stories, textbooks, etc. Okay, so that is prose. You have this paper. So let's just take a look. It says it's written in complete sentences. We're going to use the story Animal Alarm Clock for that one. Okay, it's a passage. So, written in complete sentences follows grammatical rules. That means that we're going to see correct punctuation, we're going to see capitalization, all of those different things. It's a series of events, which means that something happened, and then something happened after that, and something after that, and it'll all make sense. So it's a series of events. Dialogue, which is conversation, is always put in the quotation marks. Now, the interesting thing about this is the action is shown in the description. So, for example, again, we could easily tell that this is prose because it has chapters. Okay? That's one of the things. Complete sentences, series of events is like a story. Again, this is just a passage. The dialogue is in quotation marks. So here, let me try to get up close for that. The person said, "Wake up." That's in quotation marks. You'll also see somebody saying, "Just 5 more minutes." That's dialogue. Now the action part, where it says the action is shown in description, if you look at this, it states, Graciela sat up and pressed. So this tells us what she did. Okay, we don't see it. We have to read it. So when it's prose, you will read the action. You won't see it. You'll read it. That's one thing that she did. Here is another one. Slowly sat up and stretched. So slowly sat up and stretched. Again, you won't see that. You're going to read it when it comes to prose. Okay? And then the other thing that another action word is trudged downstairs. Again, this is something that you will read, not see. So that is how you determine prose. Again, written in complete sentences, follows grammatical rules. And again, these are all in your packet. Series of events, the dialogue is in quotation marks, and the action is shown in description. So you'll read the action. You won't see them performing it. You'll read the action. So this is Tuesday's work. So your independent work for that is, you're going to get an article called Friends Helping Friends. Okay? So it has all of those things that we mentioned about prose. Okay? And it comes with a comprehension sheet that you are going to complete. So just answer those questions as best you can. Make sure that you go back and reread the text. Okay, and answer in complete sentences. Again, this is prose. And always write your name on it. Okay? Wednesday, we are going to be looking at drama. Okay, drama. Looking at drama. So drama is defined as stories that are written as a script. The purpose is to entertain or express mood. It is intended to be performed. It contains a cast of characters. It begins with a description and setting, written as lines of dialogue, and the actions are written as stage directions. You'll see drama in examples of skits, plays, musicals, operas, comedies, monologues. All of this is kind of like what you see on TV. So it's pretty much like watching TV. That could be considered drama. Okay? So with our story today, and actually this is just one that I want you to be able to look at and say, I know that this is drama because I can see that it has a cast of characters. Okay? It defines a setting. gives me a description of the setting right in the beginning, okay? And it also has lines of dialogue. So one of my characters is a narrator. The narrator is saying something, okay? That's narrator 1. Narrator 2 says something, and then they give us some more action that's taking place. And these are things that not only will you be able to read it on paper, but if it's being performed, you will see it on the stage or on the TV, okay? So just like when you're watching a TV show, they never tell you, oh, this person is now going to go and sit down. The person just goes and sit down, okay? And they know this because they performed it and they practiced this a whole lot, okay? Your independent work for this one is going to be The Wizard of Oz, okay? Again, this is scene 3, so you don't have the cast of characters or really the description and setting, but some of it is here. It says the curtain opens. This tells you that this is going to be performed, okay? The characters, one of the characters is saying something, okay? And then you have stage directions also. So at the bottom here it states, Dorothy helps Scarecrow down off the pole. That's an example of your stage directions, okay? So now we covered 3 things and some key components of poetry, prose, and drama, okay? You're going to continue to work on this. Like I said, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you have some independent activities to do that will help you solidify what it is you've been taught, okay? So the key thing here, remember that poetry has lines and stanzas. Stanzas are also known as verses. It has rhyme scheme. It doesn't follow grammatical rules at all, okay? So, like I said, poetry is just freestyle. You can say what you want to say with it. So that's poetry for you. And we're not going to be concerned about these examples, and we're not going to do the figurative language part until we cover it much, much later. Prose, these are your articles, passages that you can get from a book, and again, you have quotation marks. They are written in complete sentences, and it's grammatically correct, okay? Drama, just like when you're watching a TV show, or a play, or a skit, okay? Meant to be performed. Characters, dialogue, stage directions, okay? All of those things happen with drama. So the more we do this, the more you'll be able to say, I can independently explain the major differences between poetry, prose, and drama. And I think that we're not just looking at you being able to explain the major differences, we're looking at you being able to use the proper terms. Okay, so you should be able to say, yep, this is poetry, this is prose, this is drama, okay? And again, we're going to continue to do this until we get so much better at it. And see you soon.